Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal are thumb by Shem Yahushua to the sisters. Preaching up some 500 Bakar Shemav. Holding down that I.S.U.P.K Staten Island class. Gonna start it like always. Gotta get a Lord a hand. Damn right. And today we're gonna talk about brotherhood, man. Because brotherhood is so important and so vital to building and keeping strong nations. Brotherhood is a key ingredient when dealing with multitudes of people, man. When you're dealing with trying to be on one accord, when you're dealing with situations where you're trying to make sure that everyone is on the same page and everyone has the same spirit, you have to have brotherhood. And when I say brotherhood, of course, I mean sisterhood as well. Brotherhood and sisterhood are synonymous with one another, but it's just very important for brothers to understand, for sisters to understand how much and how important it is to show one another love, to be kind to one another, to do the right things to one another instead of focusing on the negatives and the wrongs and all the things that we hurt from, you know? It's easy for a brother or sister to be like, man, I was hurt. I've been taken advantage of. I've been misled. I've been done wrong. Why should I care or want to do better to someone else? But that energy that we keep and harbor is what destroys us. It's what harms us. It's what cripples us from being that holy and special nation that the Most High God intended for us to be, man. You understand? We have to have love, because with love, we can conquer so much other things, man. With love, we can take over the world. You understand? Loving the Lord. And the Lord tells us to love each other. So by just loving the Lord and having that love, we will have love for our brothers. We will have love for our sisters. We will care for one another. And with that, we can conquer the entire world. We can be on top again. We can be that people that he wanted us to be, man. And I know it's hard, man. We grew up in these hellish conditions where love almost seems like it doesn't even exist. A lot of brothers and sisters don't even understand what love is because nobody was there to show it to them. Nobody taught it to them. They've never even seen it. So they don't understand love. We grew up in neighborhoods where people say they love you and they turn around and put a bullet in your back. People say they love you and they turn around and have sex with your baby mother. You understand? People say they love you and they sneaking off to get nasty with your baby father. We don't understand what love is because we was never shown it. But thanks be to the Most High that these scriptures and these records are here for our learning. So we can read about what real love is. We can understand and comprehend and get a general understanding on what real love is and what comes with love. The traits and characteristics we must obtain and advance in to be able to love one another, to be able to love someone truly and wholeheartedly. You understand? Let's start off with 1 John. We're going to go to 1 John, and we're going to go to chapter 4, and we're going to go to verse 20. Give me a second to get there with you guys. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. And right here, the scriptures say, plain as day, clear as day, that if a man says he loves God, but he hates his brother, he is a liar. You understand? And that goes so far. It is so heavy because it's just nothing but the truth in there, you know? You cannot say that you love God, but hate your brother. One of the commandments from God was that we love one another. One of the main commandments from the Most High God is that we care for one another. So for a man to say he loves God, but he hates his brother, he is a liar. You understand? Like, he is a liar. He's not being honest. He's deceitful. And he probably doesn't even know that what he's saying is wrong. You understand? He probably has no idea that what he's saying is wrong and terrible. Talk about he loves the Most High God, but he hates his brother. He loves the Lord, but he can't stand that dude from down the block that's been owing him $20 for about 2 weeks. There's things that we must know and actions that we must take to prove that we love. You understand? We can't just love in word. We can't just love by our tongue. That's not real love. So brothers is used to being in the neighborhoods that we grew up in and having brothers and sisters deal with them a certain way and not understanding what love is. Some of us grow up in households where our parents do things to us that's despicable and downright wrong. You understand? And we don't understand that this is not love. We don't understand that this is not right. So we grow up corrupted in the first place, not knowing how to love one another, not knowing how to truly care for one another. And we get misguided and just led astray. But the scriptures say right here, plain as day, in 1 John chapter 4, verse 20, that if a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. You understand? You cannot love God and hate your brother. If you love the Most High God, you will love his children. If you love the Lord, you will love you will love your brothers and sisters because they are children just like you are. Let's keep reading. For he that loveth not his brother whom he have seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen? And that's the question they pose. It's like, how you gonna love the Most High God and you've never even seen him? You've never seen the Lord. You've never had a conversation with the Lord. None of these things. You understand? But the brother or the sister that you see every day, that you can relate to them. You can relate to their struggle. You can relate to their pain. You know their situation. You know their story. But you don't care about that. You can ignore that. You can say you hate them, but you're going to say you love the Most High God. He said you're a liar. You can't do those things, man. That's not what the Lord says. Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. And if you love God, I tell you, that's one of the commandments. You got to love your brother, man. You got to care about your brother. You got to care about your sister if you truly love the Lord. If you truly love the Lord, you will love his children. Can't nobody come to you and tell you how much they love you and they care for you and they down for you and they ride with you and they for you, they want the best for you, and then turn around in the same breath and tell you how much they hate your kids, tell you how much they can't stand your daughter, tell you how much they want to punch your son in the face. Ain't nobody going for that. It doesn't even make sense. You understand? And it's no different with the Lord. You can't tell him that you love him and then turn around and hate his children. It doesn't add up. Let's drop that. Let's go to the book of Matthew. You understand? Because we got to care for one another, man. Don't nobody else care for us. Don't nobody else care for us. We got to care for one another. We got to show one another how we should treat one another, man. We got to be the one to step up and show brothers the right way. We got to be the one to step up and show that sister that the thing she went through is wrong and this is real love. We got to be the one to show that brother that how they dealt with you before was terrible and we're going to give you real love. You understand? Because love conquers all. Love conquers a lot. That hate, that malice, that revenge that's in the brother's heart or the sister's heart, you'd be surprised how much of that you can remove by just showing them some love. You'd be surprised how you could change a person's day, change a person's spirit, change a person's mentality with just showing them a little bit of love. Something that they probably was dying for, something they was probably seeking and didn't know how to ask for it, didn't know where to receive it from. And you come along and just show them love. Why? Because they're a brother or sister like you. Because you truly love the Lord. So you're going to love his children. You might inspire and spark them to want to live and change and better themselves and start showing love. And guess what? Just like that, the terribleness spreads fast like wildfire, that good thing can spread faster than wildfire as well. You know, they tell you bad news travel fast. But guess what? Good news can travel just as far. Good news travels just as far and it does way more good and way more productive things than that bad news. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, and we're going to verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me. And this scripture is from this is from Christ, man. And Christ is saying that if you do something to my brethren, man, if you do it to the least of my brethren, you understand? The brother that don't even roll with me like that every day, the brother that I don't kick it with on a regular, but he's still my brother. You understand? We don't even talk that much. We only talk in passing, but guess what? That's still my brother. And if you have done it to him, you've done it to me. Because I feel my brother's pain. I feel my sister's struggle. That's how we got to be with one another, man. And if we had these little traits, these little characteristics, it'll stop so much violence, man. It'll stop so much garbage that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, man. We wouldn't be in Staten Island putting up candles and lighting candles for our dead homies. You understand? We wouldn't have flyers posted all up and down the island talking about how this sister is missing or that sister is missing or we ain't seen this one in this much days. We wouldn't have those problems because we would take general interest in what's going on with our brothers and sisters. It'd be a big thing. It'd be if a brother lost his daughter, everybody would have lost their daughter, man. We would have all been outside looking for that girl, giving up tips, helping out, trying to find out. You go talk to them, I'm gonna go talk to my people over here, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it, man. That's the type of energy we gotta have to build this strong nation, man. That's the type of brotherhood and sisterhood that builds strong nations. Things that we've been lacking, things that we've been pushing to the side, things that we haven't even been shown. So I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? We haven't been shown these things, but the time is now. The time is now. We telling you what's in the scriptures. These things are in the scriptures. It's not all words. It's not how we think, man. We probably thought the same way. But you know what? We learned better through following the Most High God. We learned better through following the way of Christ. We learned better. And we learned things that actually work and get the job done. Let's keep reading. All right, we could drop that. Let's go to the book of John. But that's the type of energy we gotta have. That's the type of spirit we have to have, man. If you do it to any one of my brothers, any one of my sisters, I felt like it was done to me, man. There'll be no sisters getting raped. You understand? Because brothers wouldn't hear that. Sisters wouldn't hear that. Nobody would pass it up. Nobody would be like, well, he cool, and I don't think he did it because she be talking and she act like she wanted it and this and that and all that garbage that people use to try to justify all the evil that's being done to our brothers and sisters. All the molestation that our sisters face, all the molestation that our brothers face, all these cover-ups and reasons and excuses to not do what we should do, which is band together and attack that problem. This is the book of John. We're going to go to chapter 13, and we're going to go to verse 34. It's the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you. And it's not a new commandment. It's not that this commandment is new. It's that we've lost sight of it. It's that we have forgotten how important this is. We forgot the grit of it. We done lost the foundation. You understand? You can't build nothing without the foundation. And the foundation is for us to love one another, man. We got to love one another. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he said this: the entirety of the scriptures, the commandments, stand on these two. That you love the Most High God with all your mind, body, and soul, and that you love one another, man. Those two things right there would enable you and put you in the mindset and the spirit to be able to keep the entirety of the law. Because you wouldn't do nothing wrong or malicious or wicked to your brother or sister if you love them. You wouldn't be trying to get over on your brother or sister if you love them. You wouldn't hold grudges in your heart. You wouldn't want revenge. You wouldn't do none of these things if you truly loved your brother and sister. Let's keep reading. This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. You understand? And why should we love one another? Because somebody loved us. Somebody loved us enough to give their life for us. Somebody loved us enough to die so that we can have the chance to come back to the Most High God, so that we don't have to be punished and killed, so that we can be forgiven through grace, so that we can have the chance to wake up and look at our lives and realize that we are doing something that is terribly wrong and correct ourselves, man. That's the benefit. That's what Christ died for. He died so that we can live, so that we can fix ourselves and live. And we not to take that lightly, man. That's something that's not should be taken lightly. It should not be taken lightly. It's very heavy and it's very powerful. And he did it out of the spirit of brotherhood. You understand? He did it out of the spirit of brotherhood because he's a solid brother. This is verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. And that's how the earth was supposed to identify the disciples of Christ. By how we treat one another, how we deal with one another, how we communicate and help one another, man. Because these other nations don't examine and exalt the type of love that we were taught, the type of love that we have. Even right now, you look at Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians all across the four corners of the earth, and we some of the most loving, peaceable people on the planet, man. With all the hell and all the poverty and all the unfair conditions and all the unjust and injustice that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, the unfair pay, the high rent, the everything, you name it, you know what I'm saying, mass incarceration, whatever you want to call it. We are still some of the most peaceable and loving people on the planet. When Israel getting together to have a good time, they having a good time. I'll tell you that. When they get together to have a good time, they having a good time. Brothers don't have, don't worry about it. Sisters don't have, don't worry about it. It's time to get down. We doing what we doing, man. Just get here. You can't get somebody coming to get you. We extend love to one another. We learned the terrible things from being oppressed underneath these heathens, man. Picking up their ways, thinking what they was doing was cool, seeing how they got ahead and thinking that we need to adapt these traits to get ahead in their kingdom. When in all actuality, we need to adapt and get back to these scriptures that's ours, these ways that's for us, and get the hell up out of their kingdom, man. It's not about surviving in their kingdom. It's about knowing that we don't want to be here and doing what we're supposed to do, what the Lord said to do, so we can stand out and get removed from it. Not to adapt, not to compromise ourselves, not to compromise our souls, compromise our spirits. You understand? Compromise our integrity and our pride. I'm paraphrasing, of course. The scriptures say, give not thy honor over to another. We should have never belittled ourselves and sunk down to their ways to try to make it in their kingdom. We should have let them enjoy their kingdom, and we should have suffered with our brothers and sisters. We should have sacrificed and suffered with our brothers and sisters the way the Lord intended it to be, man. You understand? Let's drop that. We're going to go back to Matthews real fast, man. Today, all about brotherhood and sisterhood, man, and all the traits and important things we need to know so that we can be a great nation again, man, so that we can come together and be on one accord and big our brothers and sisters up, man, instead of beating them down like the rest of the society is doing to us, man. Take off that evil that this world has put on our people and get back to that love that the Most High God gave us. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause, and so many times this is what's going on and plaguing our communities, man. Brothers and sisters grow up together from the damn sandbox, man. From the sandbox. Be tighter than peanut, be tighter than, you know, tighter than a 3-4 cord. And then it be some little garbage, little fallout, little miscommunication, little incident, something so minor done blown up to something so major. Because Israel, we don't like to apologize. We don't like to admit that we was wrong. We don't like to let things blow over, man. We want to hold grudges with each other. We want to go to war with one another. We want to fight and bicker and beef. So many times growing up in the hood, man, you see them two sisters that fight every damn summer over a boy that don't talk to neither one of them no more. But now they done became mortal enemies. And every time they see each other, every time it get nice outside in that weather break, and it's time to come out, and everybody outside hanging out, you going to the parks, you going to the parties, you know what I'm saying? You're around the way. Every time they see each other, they're going to fight. And it's every summer. Every time around the same time, you see the same garbage. And they holding on to what? Hate for what? Don't even know how much I like they are, man. Don't forget how cool they once was. Don't forget how connected they used to be. Throwing it all away for minor, minuscule things, man. Following after nasty, disgusting, oppressors' ways, man. Just jamming up and tricking up and tripping up on people, man. We got to get back to what the Lord said to do, man. The Lord says right here that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause, that goes for sisters too, man. That goes for the sisters too. All the sisters that's angry at another sister with no cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And you're going to be in danger of the judgment, man. You are in danger of the judgment of the Most High God for being angry with your brother or being angry with your sister without a cause. These little things that we hold so near and dear to our heart and feel like we've been disrespected and played, and it's on sight when I see you and all this garbage. We picked that up from watching media, man, from watching this television, from watching these internet shows, from being on social media. Everything doesn't require a fight. Everything doesn't require the end of a friendship. Everything doesn't require revenge or vengeance. You understand? Like, some things can be talked over. Some things need to be left the hell alone and just act like it never even happened in the first place, man. It doesn't add up. And whosoever shall say to his brother Rakah shall be in danger of counsel. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. You understand? That's what the Lord said, man. Ain't gonna be no disrespecting our brothers and sisters. Ain't gonna be no calling our brothers and sisters wicked. You know what I'm saying? Calling them fools, calling them out their names. Because all these things, they start up destruction. They start up destruction. We gotta have a certain kindness, level of respect, and amount of love for one another to avoid dealing with all the terrible struggles that we already face, man. Why add on to the pain? Why add on to the trials and tribulations? Why not cut it down, take away from it with love? You understand? Why can't we just love one another? Why can't we show love to one another? We so quick to want to fight and show how big and bad we are. Let's show how smart and wise we are. Let's show how much like Christ we are and show love to one another, man. We could drop that. We're going to go to the book of Luke real fast. Because we love to hold grudges and act like people don't get to get no second chance. People don't get to make no mistakes. You understand? Like, oh, no, she effed up. She effed up. I ain't the one. He effed up. He messing with me, boy. He don't know I ain't the one. But everybody messes up. And if you messed up, you will want some forgiveness. If you messed up, you will want somebody to take the chance to talk to you, tell you what's going on. You understand? Because everybody big and bad and ready to beat and fight and hurt everybody until it's their turn to be the one getting beat up on or be the one getting chased down and hurt. Then they want some sympathy. Then they want somebody to care about them, man. You should have cared about your brother. You should have cared about your sister. You understand? When the shoe was on the other foot. We got to know these things. We got to live these things. We got to show our children these things so that they can understand these things, man. Got our children watching us out here acting all crazy and acting all wild. How do you think they're going to grow up and want to act? We got to be smart enough to show them, like, yo, listen, it don't have to be like this. We can do it like that. You understand? These things we need to know. These are things we should pay attention to and we should do. This is the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you. You understand? The same way you want men to do stuff to you, the same way you want to be treated, the same way you want sisters to respect you and look at you and give you love and give you this and give you that. It says, do ye also to them likewise. The same way you want them to look at you and give you a little love, make sure you got the same amount of love and respect and common courtesy and a little leeway for your brothers and your sisters, man. You understand? Make sure you're reasonable and understanding with your brothers and your sisters, because you're gonna want somebody to be reasonable and understanding with you. You're gonna want somebody to cut you a blight. You know what I'm saying? Cut you a break, give you a oblige. You're gonna want these things when the shoe's on the other foot, when you gotta deal with these things. So why be so wicked and so mean and so fast to persecute and to jump and attack your brother and your sister? Why be like that when we could be together? You understand? Why be like that? You're going to want somebody to care about you. You're going to want somebody to be willing to give you a break. You got to be the same way with your brothers and sisters, man. You can't expect things that you don't give. You understand? The Lord gives forgiveness. Why you not giving forgiveness? Who are you? You bigger and better than the Lord? You don't got to give nobody no forgiveness? We got to get out of our own heads, man. We got to get out of our own heads. We got to get out of our own feelings. And we got to do what's right. We got to do what's needed. It's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. All right, we can drop that. I'm going to go to the book of John. And we're going to go to John chapter 15. We're going to go to verse 12. This is the book of John chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. And this is a commandment. Again, man, we can't emphasize enough how important this brotherhood and sisterhood is, man. How helpful it is. How much of a building block it is to having a strong nation, to having a powerful nation, to be able to enter and build the kingdom. You got to have brotherhood and you got to have sisterhood. You got to have brothers and sisters knowing that, man, these people around me got my best interests in mind. And these people around me might be a little rough, they might be a little tough, but it's only for my good. Just like these scriptures are here for all learning, they're for all good. Sometimes you might have to be a little rough with your brother and let him know that what he's doing is wrong. And you can't do that. We're not going to accept that. And you got to correct that. Sometimes you might be a little rough with the sister and let her know, sis, that's not rude. That's not cool. That's off. You got to get with it. You can't be living like that. You can't be doing things like this. You understand? Correction is part of brotherhood. Correction is part of sisterhood. It says the Lord chastises those who he loves. I'm paraphrasing the scripture, of course. But, man, if you love your brother, you love your sister, you're going to chastise them as well. You love your children, you're going to chastise them as well. You're going to want them to be great. You're going to want them to be good. So you're going to get up on them sometimes, man. But it says right here in the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. You understand? And we got to love one another because somebody loved us. Somebody cared enough to make sure that our stinking self was all right. You understand? That our evil, wicked self was all right. Somebody cared enough to do that. So why can't you show the same amount of mercy, the same amount of grace, and the same amount of love that was shown to you? Take it and show it to your brother. Take it and show it to your sister. Show it to your children. Show it to your wife. Wives, show it to your husbands. Show it to your parents and your grandparents. You understand? But get that love out there. Get that love out there. Get brothers and sisters accustomed and used to it. Because our brothers and sisters not even used to being shown love. You understand? Our brothers and sisters not even used to being shown love. Nobody shows us love. We don't even know what that really means. Let's keep reading. Verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And he says, greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends, man. So what Christ did. So what many prophets did. You know what I'm saying? They risked their life so that their peoples could hear what's going on. That their peoples could know what's going on, man. This work of the Lord is not for the faint at heart. It's not for the weak. It's not for the suckers. You understand? You gotta be a strong man. You gotta be standing on what you, but you gotta stand on this stuff. You gotta believe what you talking about, because you gotta stand on it, man. And it ain't no compromising. It ain't no compromising. It ain't no lollygagging, man. This work is for serious men only. This work is for serious sisters only. You got to be strong in what you're doing, man. Because greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. That's how far you got to be willing to go, man. You got to be ready to give it all up for the Lord. Give it all up. Lose your house, lose your job, lose your wife, lose your friends, lose your mother, whatever. You got to be willing to give it up for the Lord, man. So that the next brother or sister watching can see how much you sacrifice for the Lord and understand and know that, man, I got to be willing to lose everything like that. I got to love the Lord enough to live like that. You understand? You setting the mode. People are watching all the time. All the time somebody's watching. And sometimes brothers and sisters get their strength from how strong you're being. Sometimes brothers and sisters get their ability to do stuff, and they want to do stuff by how much you encourage them. So at all times, you gotta know this is not nothing to compromise, man. This is heavy work. This is heavy duty work. You understand? It's only for the strong. The scriptures say, greater love have no man than this, than a man lay down a life for his friends. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. And that's how you know you one of Christ's friends. If you do what he commands you, man. If you're doing what the Lord commands you to do, then you know you're in good graces, man. Because it's not about what you want. It's about what's told and what's needed. You understand? Your feelings and your wants mean absolutely nothing in this truth, man. You understand? It doesn't matter if you don't want to talk to that brother, that sister. It doesn't matter if you don't got the time. You feel tired. You gotta be willing to sacrifice for your brothers and for your sisters, man. You gotta be willing to give it up. And about your problems, man. Your brother and sister call you and they need somebody to talk to. Talk to your brother. Talk to your sister, man. Refer them to counsel. Give them the things that they need, man. Be willing to help somebody else. Be willing to do something for somebody besides yourself. You understand? Because that's what builds strong and great nations, man. The sacrifice. Let's drop that. We're going to go to the book of Matthew. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 18. And sometimes you're not going to want to answer the phone. You know what you do? You shake that devil off. You shake that demon off and you get right. And you do what needs to be done, man. At all times, man. Sometimes your brother going to piss you off. You know what you do? You talk to him. And you forgive your brother. And you get over that thing, man. Get over them little beefs and them little arts. You know why? Because the Lord said so. Let's read it. This is the book of Matthew. This is chapter 18. And we starting at verse 21. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Peter wanted to know, like, yo, man, how many times can my brother offend me? How many times can my brother miswrong me, do me wrong, and I forgive him? Because I'm getting fed up. I'm on the edge. I'm wondering, like, do I gotta keep accepting his brother's apology? He keeps saying he's sorry, but he's turning around. He's not doing. He's doing more crap. He's doing more crap to me, and I can't get over it. Every time I turn around, he's offending me. How many times do I have to forgive this man? How many times do I have to forgive my brother? Verse 22. And Jesus said unto him, I say unto thee, until 7 times. He said, I say unto thee. I say not unto thee, Salakia. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 22. Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. You understand? So he basically told him not 7 times, 70 times 7 times. Not looking for an answer, not looking for a number, but just emphasizing to that brother, letting Peter know, like, listen, you forgive your brother all the time. All the time, forgive your brother. He deserves your forgiveness the same way you wanted somebody to forgive you. Forgive your brother. Don't be holding grudges. Don't have hate harbored in your heart for none of the Lord's children. You understand? First of all, we read earlier that you can't love God and hate his brothers and sisters. You can't love God and hate your brothers and sisters. You can't love the Most High God and hate his children. We already read that. Let's keep going. This is the book of Mark. But we're going to see what the Lord did require of the brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what he did require of. We're going to go to the book of Mark real fast. And we're going to go to chapter 12. And we're going to go to verse 31. We can start at 30. Well, it's the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 29. And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is here, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And that's the first commandment. That's the most important commandment. We spoke about this earlier. I said the scriptures live and die on these two greatest commandments. These are two of the greatest commandments. The scriptures live and die on these two commandments. If you can keep these two commandments, you can keep the entire law. Verse 31. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And it says the second one is to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, who is your neighbor? You understand? Your neighbor ain't everybody. Your neighbor ain't the rich people on that and over there. You understand? Your neighbor ain't the heathen. Your neighbor is the brother that look like you and live like you in the same projects. You understand? Run around Park Hill the same way you run around Park Hill. Scratching and scraping and surviving the same way you scratching and scraping and surviving. You understand? That's your brother. That's your sister. The so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian, man, woman, and a child throughout the four corners of the earth that face and deal with the same struggles, same poverty, the same hellish conditions, the same dead-end jobs, and pay the same high rents that you do. You understand? Working to get to work again. You know who your brothers and sisters are. They curse just like you. They living out the curses in Deuteronomy 28 and 15 and on just like you. Just like you. You see them. You know them. You identify with them. Understand and know who they are. Says, love your neighbor, man. Show them some love. Why? Because don't nobody else show them love anyway. Why can't we love one another? Why can't we be the ones that show each other love? So there is none other commandments greater than these. And ain't no commandment greater than those, man. That we love one another and care for one another and show one another some real love, man. Some real brotherhood, some real sisterhood, and build each other up instead of beating each other down. Let's drop that. We're going to go to the book of Romans. We're going to go to Romans. And we're going to go to chapter. See, that's 12. It's the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one towards another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. It said, be kindly affectionate. You understand? One towards another, man. Show care, show compassion, show some long suffering, some forbearing. You understand? Show some of these beautiful traits that the Most High God and so many men before you have been shown. You understand? The same type of thing that brothers show you. The same type of the energy that the sisters showed you. Because we wasn't all in the truth at all the time, man. And somebody was showing us some damn love. That's why we still here. We ain't get our brains blown out or we ain't dead somewhere. You understand? Somebody showed us some love. You understand? The Lord shined his light and showed love on us, even when we was out there in the world. And got us to get up in here, get up in this I.S.U.P.K and command Junior YAHANNA, man. So them brothers and sisters out there that's waiting to come in, that's learning and they watching at home and they silent and they far away from the camp and you see them, show them some love too, man. Show all your brothers and all your sisters some love, man. Show all the children of Israel some love, man. Be kindly affectionate towards them, man. It says, what else? With brotherly love, man. With brotherly love. And we know brotherhood and sisterhood is synonymous. Sisters, you gotta show some sisterly love. Brothers, show that brotherly love, man. It says preferring one another. You understand? And preferring one another. In honor, preferring one another with some honor, with some dignity, with some pride, and preferring one another, man. I'd rather struggle and suffer with my people than to be out there amongst a bunch of heathens, man. Look at all the brothers and sisters think they make it big. And I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with getting away and getting you some nice space, you know what I'm saying? But so much brothers and sisters, they get a couple dollars and they running away from the hood. They running away from their people. They're going to go live amongst the heathen and feel like they made it and feel like they good because they live in this nice gated community away from the niggas, away from the fucking, away Salakia, away from the niggas, away from the Spics, away from the native Indians, man, away from your brothers and your sisters, man. And then what happens? You see that same brother or sister on the news. Done got lynched, got crosses burnt on their lawn, or done got shot down jogging. Fiending and running to go be around the damn oppressor, done lost your life. Done cost you your life. Because you thought it was better to live amongst the heathen than to be around your own, man. We got to be moving in honor, preferring one another, man. We have to honor and prefer one another. We have to know that there's nothing better and greater than a so-called black, so-called Hispanic, or so-called Native Indian, man. And I know why they do that, man. They get nervous. Some of them get nervous, man. Like, I can't stay here. They're going to take my stuff. They're going to take this. They're going to hate on me about that. And brothers and sisters, you need to get that spirit up off you too, man. Just because a brother or sister doing good for themselves don't mean you should take from them. Doesn't mean that they owe you anything. You shouldn't wake up wanting to take from them. You shouldn't wake up looking at counting what they got. Looking at your situation and knowing you don't have what they have. That's a terrible spirit. That's a terrible demon to have, man. We got to shake those things off, man. So I know why brothers and sisters get a couple dollars and try to run away from the hood. Because they scared. But now look, you worry about brothers and your sisters that might be hating on you and doing this and doing that and looking to take from you. And then you go somewhere else to live around other nations and they take your life from you. You understand? Love the Lord. Love the Lord and don't worry about those things, man. If you're serving the Most High God, you won't have to worry about those things in the first place, man. It won't even be a worry. You won't be wanting to go live around in other heathens and you won't be worried about your brothers and sisters taking from you. That'll be the last thought of your mind because you'll be out there trying to help people in the first place. You'll be out there trying to figure out how can you help. Nobody will want to take from you. Let's go to the book of Matthew. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 18. We're going to go to 18 and we're going to go to 15. This is the book of Matthew chapter 18 verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee. And this is the rule right here, right? This is the rule and the order and the way to deal with your brother or deal with your sister if you feel like they offended you. If they made you feel any kind of way, this is how we should deal with one another. Not running to Instagram or making a video clip and putting nobody's business on blast. Not going on Facebook and tagging all their friends and their mother and their cousins and their wife and talking just down and bad about them, man. Slandering their name. Not by making videos on YouTube talking about anyone. That's not how you deal with a problem. That's not how you handle the ought. Not by not saying nothing and waiting to see the brother or sister and sucker punch them in the face and now it's on sight. None of these things, man. Not by threatening them and letting them know that next time you see them, you're going to fight. All these things is wrong. We're going to find out what the scriptures say to do when you have an ought or a disagreement with a brother or a sister. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. And it says to go tell him or her their faults. And you do it with just you and them. You understand? You pull that brother or that sister to the side, like, let me talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And you tell them what they did and how they made you feel. You understand? And that's how you handle things. And they have a job to do too. When they get pulled to the side, if they're offending someone, let's read. Let's see what they should do. It says, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained a brother. And he says, now if he or she shall hear you, you have gained a brother. And how can they hear you? How does somebody hear you when you speak? If you pull a brother or sister to the side and you say, listen, you offended me. You made me feel like, I just don't know why you would do that because, If they say, listen, I'm sorry, I made you feel like that. I had no idea I was making you feel like that. I apologize. They heard you. If they tell you, listen, I don't know what you talk about. I don't remember that happening. Anything like that. That means they didn't hear you. They get to defend it and defend it themselves and what they think they didn't do. That means they didn't hear you. But if your brother tells you that I'm sorry, I did not know that I made you feel like that, and I apologize, and it won't happen again. That's how you know your brother has heard you, and that's how you know how you gain a brother, man. You know how it is in the hood. You ain't most of your friends you don't went through something with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got cool from going through something, and going through these motions with what the Lord says. You will definitely gain some real friends, man. You'll definitely gain some real friends because y'all have something to look back at and remember and build a bond off of, man. Instead of blowing up relationships and blowing the bridge up and not sending for help. Now the relationship is dead. Now the friendship is dead. The brotherhood is dead. The sisterhood is dead. All of minuscule things that don't even matter in the first place, man. We gotta learn to be together. We gotta learn to come together and love one another and build one another up, man. Because we are building the nation. We are building the Lord's nation back up, man. And the Lord requires his warriors and his daughters to love one another, man. To be kindly affectionate towards one another, man. With brotherly love, with sisterly love, with honor, preferring one another, man. Taking that extra 3-block walk to go make sure that you go spend your money at Mr. Smith's store. You understand? Instead of giving it to the Arab man right here in Kennedy's. Take the extra couple steps and go give it to the sister that's frying chicken. Take the extra couple steps and go to the Spanish bodega instead of the damn Arab bodega. You gotta prefer one another, man. We gotta love one another and care about one another and truly care about what's going on with one another so that we can build a strong and great and mighty nation again, man. The way the Lord intended, man. And with that's my time, man. I'm gonna say shalom. Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal, thumb by Shem Yahushua to the sisters, man. I'll see y'all next week.